Hello Cancer, it's September 2021. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with your horoscope for the coming month. And I'd like you to focus this month on this third house, which is where we're going to see the new moon taking place. Third house is all about your communication. It's about education, learning. It's about travels. So there's a lot of activity. It's a very, very active sector of the horoscope. And one aspect of this house is that it actually relates to bravery, the courage that you have to go after your dreams. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So the fact that on the 7th, the moon is going to move around into this area along with Mars is very, very telling. If you've been held back, and we can see here some of these retrograde planets like Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, the retrogression of planets pulls things back, delays them. Here we have it on the 7th. You notice also that these three planets, that new moon, the Sun and Mars, are opposing Neptune in the upper part of your horoscope. The 9th house, which is where Neptune is right now, has to do with education, belief systems, and a lot of the activities associated with expanding your mind, your horizons, and your life philosophy. The 4th house, to some astrologers, is also considered an educational house, although I tend to look at it more as a domestic arena of your life. Here, the month starts with Mercury and Venus activating your sense of beauty and aesthetics to maybe make your home look better, to maybe purchase a home or move home. And then Venus moves to your 5th house, which is the house of creativity, the zone of love and romance. So all of these planets point to a lot of activity in the area of education, domesticity, and then around the middle of the month to the romantic aspects of your nature. The moon will make contact with Pluto here on the 16th. That's a rather challenging aspect, especially because it's between Saturn and Pluto. And Saturn and Jupiter are here in the house of intimacy. So relationships can be a little trying, and especially because we see Mars here moving into your 4th house, and that's at a right angle. It'll be more a right angle to Pluto later, but it still has an impact on this 7th house of marriage and relationships. So there can be some tension associated with your relationships, and also some confusion, as we see here, with the moon making contact with Neptune. And you've got two pairs of planets here, right at the bottom of the chart, which is your inner happiness, your home life, and this educational component. So it could be that you haven't been finding too much satisfaction or happiness within the work that you're doing or the studies that you've been doing. And I have a very, very clear message to you on that point, and that is you should never do anything that you don't love. Here we see more pressure on this part of your life, the inner part of your life, your inner happiness, with these fiery planets really activating a sense of dissatisfaction. Now, you need dissatisfaction to propel you forward in life. If you didn't have any dissatisfaction or remained completely stationed in the status quo, you'd never develop and move forward. So I think this has an upside to it, in that whatever restlessness you're feeling, whatever dissatisfaction you're feeling in the work that you do, it's an opportune moment for you to reappraise that, especially with all these retrograde planets up here. And notice also Mercury retrograde, indicating a change of heart or a change of thought, a reappraisal of things, definitely because of that. Now, the other thing I'd like to say is that the position of Mars here is important because you notice the sun getting closer and closer to it in its transit, and that's burning up the energies of that planet. So could I put it to you that perhaps some of the dissatisfaction or changes that have to take place, even though I mentioned your home life and your domestic sphere, the full moon was up here in the ninth house, which has to do with re-educating yourself, and Mars is the career planet. So when that combustion is taking place, there's no doubt some sort of concerns associated with that department of your life. It could be the employer that's causing you some problems as well, because Mars is the ruler of the career, and this 10th house has to do with authority figures. And again, the sun is a natural significator of authoritative figures. So you've got to be a little bit careful about that, especially towards the end of the month, Cancer. Find out more about this at astrology.com.au. I've got the full gamut of transits that will fill in the gaps. I've got the transcription of what I'm yapping on about here to you, and so you'll be able to read it and just go back over it and reappraise what I've said. And you're more than welcome to drop me a line if you've got some questions. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you here next month, I hope. Stay safe. Bye-bye.